Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. If this is the first time that you guys are tuning in to our Sunday Stock Talk, this is our largest live stream on a weekly basis. We do this once a week, every single Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'd love to have you. Make sure that you guys subscribe. Make sure that you turn on your post notifications on if you ever want to be alerted when I go live or when I upload a new video. I really do appreciate you guys' time and tuning in. And this is pretty much where we come together as a team and I simply break down the stocks that you guys see value in. All I really ask you is to post it in the ticker call out format. You're going to see Ismail post the ticker call out format, meaning that you need to make sure that you've done your own due diligence before you share it with me. At the end of the day, you should be the sole decision maker on what you choose to trade and what you choose to invest in. So please just take my opinion as what it is, and it's simply my opinion. You should never buy, you should never sell based on anyone's recommendation or anything of that sort, and we're never here to tell you what to do, right? So I really hope that we earn your thumbs up in this live stream. It's going to be about 25 to 30 minutes long, and I'm going to be breaking down the top stocks that you guys see value in. So let's go ahead and have some fun. And I want to say what's up to everyone. So everyone that is tuning in right now, where are you guys tuning in from? So Dilly Dallin, Justin and Dallin tuning in from the road. I hope you guys are driving safe. I saw the road was pretty rough. What is going on? Where are you guys all from? We got some people from Tennessee. All right, we got people from Utah. I like that. New Jersey. Oh, here we go. We got South Cali, Los Angeles, Maryland, San Francisco. Where's that? Florida, AZ. I like that. Ooh, I like that. Texas, Denver. Oh, we got people from all over. Oklahoma, St. Louis, Dallas, Kansas. Woo! There we go. We got a lot of people from Texas, Massachusetts, boy. I like that. Orlando, Carolina, Georgia. There we go. Philly, Canada, Atlanta, Idaho. Man, you guys are from all over the place. Dumb part of NC. let's not say that. Nebraska. Hey, we're all from different places, but we all have the same goal, right? And that's to consistently grow our account in the stock market. So let's make sure that we have fun. Let's make sure that we enjoy the process. And at the end of the day, you're the sole decision maker on whether you're successful or whether you fail. So just make sure that you do your part in surrounding yourself with people that empower you into being the best person that you can be. And again, I would love to invite you guys, if you guys haven't joined already, I believe it's the second link down below. You guys can refresh the page if you don't see it. It's for our free Facebook group. We have over 221,000 members all over the world and all over the United States, of course. If you guys haven't tuned in already and joined our free Facebook group, we share a bunch of free resources. So again, that's that second link down below. So let's go ahead and have some fun. So for all those that are going to be asking, this is my TD Ameritrade Think or Swim platform. This is the platform that I use. This is not the only platform that you can use. There's so many out there. I have a bunch of videos explaining how I have mine set up, the paper trading, simulation trading, trading on demand. There's so many different ways on how you can get started. And guess what? It literally costs you $0. If you're just getting started, you shouldn't even be trading, in my opinion, and it's just that, with real money. You should not be trading with real money. You should be trading to learn and not trading to profit. And I think paper trading or trading on demand is a great way for you to do that. So I don't want to go on a rant with that, but I'm just making sure that you guys know that if you want to get started, there's absolutely no reason that you cannot start, especially if you're within the United States, due to all those free resources that you have available. So let's go ahead and have some fun. Billy the Kid, thank you for everything, LPP. Appreciate you. All right, let's do this. So all I ask you is to post your top stock in the ticker call out format. So you're cool. Oh, no. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and start with Ranger. So we're going to start with IIPR. Here we go. So IIPR, here we go. All right, so I'm going to go on the 180-day 4-hour chart. What do you guys see here? So I'm going to do a very quick breakdown. So I like that this thing was showing signs of an overall uptrend. It looks like it began to try to push up and then got rejected by this EMA line. It began to sell off again. Right now, as you guys can see, this light blue line is my EMA line, which is the moving average exponential. I have a video talking about that in either the course or on YouTube. And one of the things that I want you guys to know is that right now it's pointing down. It's not showing signs of an uptrend. The MACD is actually descending. So is the RSI. So what's one of the things that I like to focus on that is in my day trading criteria checklist is confirmation, keeping it that simple. So I'm going to set my alert. I'm going to set my alert here. And if we get confirmation of growth, then okay, I might want to pay attention to IIPR. Right now, it's not showing any signs of growth. Right now, it can potentially bounce, but anything can happen just as much as it can sell off. So right now, I would say that this is at a critical point. The direction is not super clear, and it's really not something that I want to partake in because right now it's selling off. So I would rather be patient, rather wait for confirmation, and would rather wait for an indication of an uptrend, and then I would rather take part when that actually confirms, if it actually happens. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We got GSS. Here we go. All right, GSS. So I could see definitely why this one's being called out. So based off of previous patterns, we could see that right around 325. First of all, this looks like it's a very low cap stock, not something that I would personally trade myself. And also the volume looks a little bit low, which is definitely does not meet my criteria. And that's just my opinion. And you can take it as just that. Just because I trade something doesn't mean that you should. Just because I don't trade something doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It's based off of your eye for value and your criteria. If you don't have criteria that every stock has to meet, then you probably shouldn't be trading because you probably don't understand what an ideal setup looks like for you, which means that you just need to dedicate a little bit more time to practice that. But right now, the reason that I said that this thing makes sense based off of the technical standpoint on why people are viewing this to be potentially a good buy is that it's potentially at a support. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So I set my alert here for the break above the EMA line. I want this thing to begin to show signs of an uptrend. It looks like a good deal based off previous lows, but it has not confirmed an uptrend. It has not confirmed a bounce. So because of that, the EMA line is still pointing down. I want the overall direction to change, and I want to give it time for it to do that. So let's go ahead and go from there. So we got Albert calling out ticker symbol. What is that? Okay, here we go. So again, if you want me to break something down, please post it in the ticker call out format. So it looks like APHA went through a positive earnings, huge push up, 40% on Friday. I want to talk to you guys with this one because I feel like a lot of people are sometimes, whoa, why do I look so white? All right, there we go. A lot of people are sometimes misled when there's a huge push like this. Think about this as a complete beginner. When there is a huge push up, if you're a complete beginner, what do you think is most likely going to happen? Not what is most likely going to happen. What do you think as a complete beginner? Think about a beginner mindset. Something pushed up 40% on Friday. So now it's in everyone's radar. What do people think that are just getting started that most likely will follow? What do you think? No. Not what actually, like, yeah, we understand that it's overbought, but as a complete beginner, what do most beginners think looking at that? Like, oh my God, it pushed up on Friday, 40%, right? So a lot of you guys are saying that it's going to pull back, right? Which I agree. But as a complete beginner, right? That it's most likely going to push higher, right? That it's most likely going to continue to uptrend because they're like, okay, well, it pushed up 40% on Friday. Why isn't this thing going to continue to uptrend? I'm really like thankful that so many of you guys were like, no, well, it looks like it's overbought, which I agree. It looks like it's overextended, which I agree. It looks like it's not a good buy, which I agree. It's not a good buy. But not a lot of beginners obviously think that way. They think that because it pushed up, that it's just going to continue to push up. They just think it's going to continue to rally, and they're going to buy when we all know that it's not a good deal, when it could be a pump and dump. Yeah, it could be a positive earnings, but based off of previous patterns, when something pushes up this quickly, it usually doesn't last. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So one of my biggest kind of like, wake up calls for you, or something maybe to look for, is when something is not viewed as a good deal, just do your part as a trader or as an investor, however your approach is just to get the best deal possible. right? You could see that it's overextended if you know how to read the RSI indicator. You can see that it's overbought with, the MACD. Very simple indications that can refer you to, yeah, this probably isn't the best buy. Yeah, it can potentially continue to uptrend, but most likely it's bound to pull back. And it's just a matter of time once this earnings or once the news becomes less relevant. I think that we can all agree on that. So I would say that I would really stay away from APHA, especially for it being such a lower cap stock and such an aggressive descending pattern. Again, I don't know anything about the fundamentals about APHA, but I can just tell you based off of my experience when it comes down to these pump and dumps that get driven, right? 40%, 80% due to false news. That hype and that manipulation doesn't last forever. And it's going to be very unfortunate if you get greedy, if you just chase the trade because someone else is telling you, or someone else said that they made a certain dollar amount and you just buy it because of that. That there's no actual reason on a technical standpoint. There's no reasoning behind it. You're just buying it and trading it because someone else told you to. And you're either going to take a loss and not actually learn anything because you did not even understand the position that you put yourself in. So let's just do this. Just like we've talked about in our day trading e-tips, make sure moving forward that you only take a trade in which you understand the position that you're getting yourself into. There's no reason, if you're just getting started, to aggressively day trade when you're just getting started. Who cares if you miss out of an opportunity? Who cares? You have nothing but time. Make sure that you are cool, calm, and collected. You're composed every single time that you take a position moving forward, that there's a reason behind every trade that you take. I think that would be my goal for every single one of you this upcoming week. All right, let's go ahead and move on over with Darwin, BYND. Here we go, BYND. What do you guys think about this one? BYND. What do we think about this? The RSI, the MACD, based off of previous patterns, can you see, right? Can you see why this is an overall uptrend, right? It's showing signs of higher highs. It's showing signs of growth, right? If those are using, for those that are using Robinhood, what if you looked at your 1 year chart, right, for your overall portfolio, and it looked something like this? It's nice, right? It's showing signs of growth. This is probably something that I want to trade. I like that, right? It pushed up very aggressively and it pulled back. It makes sense. Now, it's kind of consolidating at this SMA line. What can happen but doesn't have to? And again, I'm here to test you every single time. What can happen but doesn't have to? So it looks like it's potentially bouncing at the SMA line. So what can happen? Wait for confirmation on BYND. An uptrend, right? We're all expecting, based off of previous patterns, that this is going to continue to uptrend. So if you're so certain that it's going to confirm an uptrend, then why not just wait for confirmation? It's the very simple things in life that I think a lot of people overcomplicate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert for a little bit above the EMA line, and I want this to begin to show signs of an uptrend. How much easier, right? Put yourself in two positions. Is it easier for you to make a profit by buying right now and hoping that it goes up? Are you going to feel that comfortable? Or would it be that much easier for you to, let's say when this was happening, right, and stuff was showing signs of an uptrend, the patterns were showing signs of an uptrend, that you just take part of it, that you do your part in getting in for a good deal, but ultimately it's still showing signs of an uptrend and you're just kind of going with the flow. That's exactly, I want to be a part of the rally. I want to be a part of the uptrend. I want to be part of the action. I don't want to be part of the, I don't know what's actually going to happen. Is it going to sell off or is it going to actually confirm a bounce? Let's keep things simple and actually just wait for confirmation, because just as much as it could bounce, it could 100% sell off. And just ask yourself, do you want to put yourself in that position? It's that simple, right? Let's go ahead and move on to ticker symbol DIS. DIS, here we go. All right, so this is Disney, right? We could see that it's consolidating right around this SMA line. I do want to let you know that it has an up-and-coming earnings report on 8/6, which is on Tuesday, and I would definitely wait for a confirmation on that. The margin of profit, in my honest opinion, probably isn't even worth it. It's about 3% from where it's at right now to about the highest point that it's been at on the 180-day chart. So just ask yourself, is it worth the risk for 3%? I don't think so. But if it is for you, then that's up to you. I would just say wait for the earnings, see if it could cause a sell-off and maybe a dip buy opportunity if you're so focused on Disney being such a good deal. So again, set yourself up for success and make sure that you can control the variable. If there's an uncontrolled variable, therefore, the earnings, right? Because we don't know which way it's going to go. Then why not just wait for the earnings to pass through and see what the reaction is? Kind of like the natural gas and the crude oil report. What I trade on a weekly basis. I don't trade the actual report. I don't try to predict which one's going to go up or which one's going to go down. That's like gambling, right? A thing I can do is I can wait for the reaction to happen. I can wait for one to sell off. And if one begins to recover, then guess what? I can ride that recovery because I have no skin in the game on either one of them. It's that simple. Control the risk. Manage that risk. Make sure that you put yourself in a position where it actually makes sense. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. AJ Main calling out NFLX. NFLX. Here we go. Alrighty. So pretty nice dip buy opportunity, right? After its earnings caused a pretty solid sell-off, began to show signs of an uptrend, peaked out. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. It makes sense, right? It's sold off, and now looking at the MACD, looking at the RSI, it makes sense on why it can potentially find a support, maybe doing a double bottom and stuff like that, right? So right now it's still trending below the EMA line, and sometimes it still does push above the EMA line. So my biggest focus right now for Netflix would be for higher high confirmations. I don't want this thing to just break above the EMA line. I actually want it to make higher highs, actually continue to show signs of an uptrend before being fully invested in Netflix, right? So if you're so certain that this thing's bound to recover based off previous patterns to about highs of 380, you have a lot of margin to play with. You don't have to buy down here. You can wait till it even breaks above 337, right? And even from 337 to 380, that's about 12%. Even if you take 5% of that, again, put yourself in a comfortable position. Don't try to guesstimate what's going to happen. Why not just wait for the confirmation? So I'm going to set my alert there. I'm going to wait and set my alert for the break above the EMA line. And I'm also going to set my alert if this thing begins to make lower lows. So I like the dip buy opportunity, especially for such a huge multi-billion-dollar company. But I just want to make sure that I do my part as a trader to set myself up for success. So WKHS. So what is it? TUGGUT. Please do me the biggest favor and just post this in the ticker call out format. You don't have to donate, but I really do appreciate it. So would you invest in Forex, or is it too much of a gamble? Just like any market, there's always a form of risk. I'm a true believer that if there's a transaction being made, anyone can make money in that market. So with that being said, educate yourself, inform yourself about whatever market you want to get yourself into, and see if it's the right fit for you. I'm not here to say that the stock market is better than the Forex market because I partake in the stock market. That's very naive and narrow-minded for me to say. I'm here to empower you to pursue whatever market that you want to be a part of, regardless of my success. That has nothing to do with you. We're completely two different people. So again, don't care so much about what other people think or have experienced themselves. Is inform yourself. Just keep it simple. Educate yourself on how that market actually works, what can actually assist you in your success, and think about yourself as a person and if you work well with that market. That simple. Here we go. So we got MDR. MDR. Here we go. Alrighty. I like that. I like this dip buy opportunity. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about MDR? Huge sell-off, right, due to earnings. It's still selling off, let's be honest. It's still selling off, not showing any signs of a reversal, right? Really bad earnings. It pushed up to about highs of almost $11. Really bad earnings, right? Sold off, right? So what can we do? All we have to do is wait for confirmation, right? Wait for the bounce, wait for higher highs, and wait for the overall direction to change. So if you think that you're so certain that this thing's bound to recover based off previous patterns, I agree. Like, the margin is definitely super attractive. That's 66%. That's huge. Let's say you even take part of that, of 10% of that, your little piece of pie. Just make sure it's when the action is happening. Right? So you don't have to guesstimate or feel uncomfortable. Put yourself in a position that you are going to be emotionally sound, right? As we can all agree that emotions is definitely a huge barrier for a lot of people. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So we got, here we go, WKHS by Michael. Here we go, WKHS. Here we go. Alrighty. So WKHS looks like, I would not, yeah. So huge push up. This looks like a pumping number. So it's already showing signs. Look, no volume, all of a sudden huge volume, and it's been dying out ever since. Looks like it pushed up very aggressively, sold off, and earnings is coming up. And yeah, I personally don't like these. I don't actually even trade during earnings, but it looks like it is trying to show signs of an uptrend based off the technical standpoint. Yeah, it's about to, or potentially break above the EMA line. We can set our alert for that, and you can wait for higher highs. But based off of previous patterns, let's look at the 1 day, 1 minute chart. The volume is actually not that bad now, but it was really bad before. So I just feel like this thing's going through like false marking or something like that. That's driving artificial demand. And I'm not a huge fan of that. So I personally, I know that I'm not going to trade it, right? On a technical standpoint, this EMA line can either act as a resistance and get this thing to be rejected or continue to uptrend. So it's up to you. Looks like on Tuesday, we're going to have an earnings report. I would definitely not want to be in this during its earnings, especially with its, previous patterns. So I'm going to keep it that simple. Here we go. Alrighty. We got Bobby posting it in the ticker call out format. I appreciate you. VIV. Here we go. VIV. Boom, boom. All right. What do you guys think about this one? VIV. VIV pushing up to highs of 14.47. Overall began to pull back. Look at the MACD. Look at the RSI. It looks like it can potentially begin to consolidate and then begin to continue to rally. But again, confirmation is key. So with that being said, I'm going to set my alert for the break above the EMA line. And I'm also going to set my alert for the break below its support and making lower lows. So let's go ahead and follow through with that. So here we go. ARQL. ARQL. I'm going to try to go through these pretty quickly just so I can answer or break down a couple more for you guys. Overall, uptrend pattern, I really like that, right? It pushed up to highs of 12.22, right? And then began to show signs of a descending pattern, and it's been selling off ever since. Normally, right, it's bounced at this SMA line, but it hasn't always done that. So what can we do? Wait for confirmation. So I'm going to set my alert, wait for confirmation, but just as much as it could go up, it could go down. Do you guys see how I have these like little phrases? It's just the same thing over and over again, right? There's these series of different stocks. They all offer different types of opportunities. They're all in different positions. Some are still selling off. Some are still consolidating. Some are beginning to uptrend. Some have already been super overbought, and some are beginning to pull back. They're all in different stages. So what does a perfect setup look like for you? That's up to you to decide. This is not a perfect setup for me because it has not confirmed a reversal. And because of that, I would like to wait for that specific setup. So just determine in your eyes what that looks like for you. So WD, yeah, I'm not going to break down so you can post it 1,000 times, and I won't break it down for you if I don't see you post it in the ticker call out format. So just a little heads up. Here we go. AMD. All right. AMD, I like that. So overall, AMD looks like it hit highs of around $34. Sold off, right? Already went through its earnings. That's good. Sold off. Now broke below the SMA line. So we don't know if this is the beginning of a descending pattern, but a potential support, the MACD, the RSI, all that looks good. It does have margin for potential recovery, but a lot of the times we have noticed that as something breaks below the SMA line that used to act as a support can then now begin to act as a resistance. So just a little heads up on that. So if it does begin to show signs of an uptrend, just watch out for the SMA line as it can begin to show signs and act as a resistance. If it does begin to overall begin to recover, then from around that $30 price point to overall highs based off previous highs, that's about 15%. But again, that's going to take time. That's not going to most likely happen just over one day. So be patient, be selective, wait for that confirmation, and put yourself in a position that is going to ultimately lead to your success. So I'm going to set an alert for the break above the EMA line, but I'm also going to set an alert for the break below, right? The break below the current support. One of the things that I did today that I don't normally do is I asked the TechBuds member, right? The people within TechBud Solutions, again, our free Facebook group, the second link in the description. So we have 221,000 members all over the world. So I have to search this up, top stocks. So one of the things that I did is I did this poll. I actually think I did, here we go. Let's see. Jesus, where's that? My goodness. Let's see if I can find it through this. Here we go. Should have had this prepared. I do apologize. We ran this little poll, and I'm pretty sure I remember the top three. And I think AMD was one of them, but I want to make sure that I don't miss the last one. So I think JNUG and JDST was the top one that I saw. And yeah, let's see. My goodness. Yeah. Looks like I'm not going to be able to find it right now, but I'll make sure that I break down at least the top two that I saw. So AMD was one of them, which I already broke down, right? And the next one was JNUG and JDST, right? And I'm assuming that so many people are talking about that due to the, shift that we experienced last week in the market. So one of the things that I'm going to just break down is /GC, which is the overall future for gold, right? So looking at the 1 day, 1 minute chart, I think this is something that you guys should really pay attention to. It's not a direct correlation to JNUG and JDST, but it definitely does have an influence. So when this goes up, usually JNUG follows, and if this goes up, then JDST, which is the inverse ETF of JNUG, then goes down. So based off of previous close from Friday and where it's at right now, it's definitely beginning to show signs of an uptrend. One of the things that I want to make sure that I point out, and we'll go on the 20-day 1 hour chart, is that based off of recent news, gold has been showing signs of an uptrend due to uncertainty of our overall economy. And I don't even really want to get into that, but I just want to make sure that you guys kind of go with the flow. We've had a lot of people ask us, with the market not performing the best. So if you guys look at /NQ, right? So /NQ is the NASDAQ future. You can see that it's been not doing very hot. Overall market's been down. Can you still make money when the market is not doing well? Of course, 100%. You guys could see, I have a huge focus on trading, ETFs and ETNs, but you guys saw, on what was it? Yeah, on Friday, right? I made a little bit over $2,400. The day before I made $2,000, and the 3 days before that I made over $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 each and every single day, which correlates. My daily goal is 1.5 to 2% growth a day, and that's still pretty aggressive for anyone that's just getting started. But at the end of the day is pay attention to what's showing signs of growth. And my biggest tip, and just take it as this, my biggest piece of advice for anyone that is struggling to stay green because they're holding something. And I don't know if you guys remember, but when I first got started uploading a lot of videos on YouTube, I had a huge focus on swing trading. And we've had a lot of people ask me, like, why do I not swing trade as much anymore? It has to come down to the idea that the market began to change. The market began to become very inconsistent. And let's just keep it this simple. With inconsistencies, right? Then the patterns don't tend to hold themselves as consistent. It's very repetitive, but if there's not a consistent pattern, not a consistent direction, I'm not going to feel comfortable holding that specific stock. So what did I begin to do? I began to focus a little bit more on just day trading. If I saw an opportunity present itself and I saw signs of growth, then I would go for it, but then close my position. So all I would want to express to you is, if you're beginning to see signs of inconsistencies and not want to hold those specific positions, then you can do one very simple little thing and just close those positions every day. Even if you're under the PDT rule, you're given 3 opportunities within a 5-day period to make the most of it. Be selective, make sure that it makes sense to you, and manage that risk. That's simple, right? Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and break down about 2 more, and then we can kind of go from there. So Ricky, do you only trade based off of chart analysis and not news as a catalyst? So the only form of news that I try to trade, so the only type of news that I trade is the news and the reports that has to do with natural gas and crude oil. Other than that, it's just not my focus. I'm not saying that it's not effective. I'm sure it is for a lot of people. It's just not my style. I focus a lot on technicals, and it's been working really well for me. And if you've ever gotten to watch me trade live, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But other than that, that's pretty much just my style, and that's why I just talk about it that way. So here we go. Let's go ahead and break down ticker symbol SHOP. Alrighty, ticker symbol SHOP. Here we go. Let's go back on that 180-day chart. So on the 180-day chart, Shopify showing a very consistent uptrend pattern. Looks like it had a very positive earnings, drove the price up pretty high. Again, hype and news doesn't last forever. Great, had a positive earnings, peaked out at highs of 350, highest price point for the past 180 days. I think that's amazing, but guess what happens? What goes up must pull back, right? And it does. It's beginning to pull back. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI, and just set yourself up for success. Yes, it does normally bounce at the SMA line, and it has normally bounced and held the past 180 days, right? Or pretty much the past 180 days above the SMA line. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So just make sure you set your alerts. Get reminded when it's at that, good buy territory or good buy price range. And when you see a bounce and when you see it confirming a reversal, then maybe that's when you can take action. But other than that, again, I would be extremely selective as something is still selling off to try to get in super early. Patience goes a long way in this market. So let's go ahead and do one more and we can go from there. So damn, TQQ told yeah. Here we go. All right, Josh, appreciate you tuning in. I think you're going to be our last one for today. That's going to be Fizz. So FIZZ, here we go. I really don't like this one. I'm sorry, Josh. I thought you were going to be our last one. Here we go. So strong, consistent descending pattern. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD, looks overextended just based off previous patterns. I just have to go off of previous patterns and think that this is just going to continue to sell off, especially when it's really not a good deal. So, and again, I could be completely wrong. I just don't like descending patterns. I don't want my account to look like this. Therefore, I don't want to trade stocks, right, or invest in stocks that are showing signs of that specific pattern. So I'm going to set my alert on both sides, but I'm going to pretty much go from there. So let's go ahead and do one more. One more, but again, it has to be in the ticker call out format. Let's see, the ticker call out format. Alrighty. SOXL. Okay, so this one offers like a pullback, right? Dip buy opportunity potentially. Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. I like that. Looks like it might bounce around the SMA line. It's still aggressively selling off, so I can't really go off of that. Yeah, but I'm just going to set my alert for the sake of it. It's not showing signs of an uptrend right now. And again, the Sunday stock talk are for the stocks this week. And right now, this is not showing any signs of why I would want to take a position right now. Maybe when it confirms a reversal, but that takes time. And that means probably not this week. And that's why I think that we're going to have to pass on this one for now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Ticker symbol S. What's going on, Roberto? I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you again for your time. Here we go. Another nice little dip buy opportunity. Had poor earnings, right? Aggressively, it peaked out, and then aggressively sold off. So this might be a nice dip buy, but again, confirmation is key. So let's go ahead and make sure that we set ourselves up for success and set those alerts. CG. All right, let's go with that one. CG. Here we go. Another nice little dip buy opportunity based off previous patterns. It tends to hold above the SMA line. The MACD looks good. The RSI looks pretty good. But again, I would like to wait for an overall reversal and for a confirmation of a bounce. You guys are doing good jobs with like potential dip buy opportunities, but it's not showing signs of a bounce right now. So What does Ricky use for charting? Just like I say in every single one of my videos, TD Ameritrade, TOS. ETSY. ETSY. Another tip buy. Okay. You guys are cracking me up. All right. I'm going to do one more. Please don't make it be a dip buy opportunity. I want it to be something that's showing signs of an uptrend. PAYS. Let's see. Consolidating. It's not really a dip buy, but it's not really showing signs of an uptrend. So it's kind of just consolidating above the SMA line. So all right. It looks like we have a lot of people posting their stocks, but not in the ticker call out format. So we'll do this one just because I'm curious. Nope, dip buy. And it has an up and coming earnings. So definitely not something that I would want to do. Here we're at CDNA. I think I'm at like 20 stocks for the day. Here we go. Okay, so it's showing signs of an uptrend. Looks like it pulled back due to its earnings. And yeah, this one's kind of inconsistent, so I don't even like this one that much. Looks like we're going to end this on kind of a rough ending. TEUM. Let's see this one. Come on. Okay, so it is showing signs of an uptrend. It's just I don't personally like these patterns, especially after it recently just broke above the SMA line. It looks a little bit overextended, especially with an up and coming earnings, that even if it does end up earnings coming out in its favor, it might be so overbought that it might just drive the price down, just like we've seen before, where it is nice, it is pushing up above the SMA line, but just drives the price down because it's so overextended. Yeah, so one of the things, or again, there we go, a little too light. One of the things that I do want to kind of like end this with is the overall mindset. So I don't know, you guys could see that the first link down below, and if you guys don't see it, all you guys have to do is refresh your page. This video is going to be available after it processes and re-uploads. And one of the things that I want to remind you is your mindset and your approach on how you're going to take on the market today. I created a free checklist, and this is for anyone, and this is not for you to copy, right? Because we're all wired in different ways, but this is a checklist in which that you can branch off of. We had over 2,000 people download the checklist within one video that I made. How many of you that are tuning in right now downloaded the checklist? Not just the checklist, but also the day trading e-tips. I talk about, my focuses when it comes down to trading and what every stock has to meet. I talk about the buying and the selling and being efficient, right? I talk about my mindset and the importance of confirmation and how so many people overlook how important it is to just focus on the very simple things. So I took your crash course last week and it helped me immensely. And we've been having a lot of questions about our crash course. If you guys, go to the description of this video and a lot of our videos, we have the Learn Plan Profit crash course. It's not the Learn Plan Profit course, it's the Learn Plan Profit crash course. It's $7 and it's not going to teach you everything that you need to know about the market. It's $7 and all it's for is just to guide you in the right direction, to get your feet wet so you understand what to expect. If you feel like you're lost, if you feel like you have no idea of where to get started, that's exactly what the crash course is for. It's 1 hour of information, literally $7. And let me leave it at this, right? If you purchase the crash course and either you don't learn anything new or you don't feel like it was of value, I will literally refund you your $7. It's that simple. It's $7. It's a Subway sandwich just to guide you in the right direction. It's that simple. Is the crash course the same as Learn Plan Profit? Heck no. Learn Plan Profit is over 8 hours of information and you get to watch me trade live every single day within the Learn Plan Profit. It's completely different. But again, if you want access to the crash course, it's $7 and it's the third or fourth link down below. It literally says crash course. You guys can check it out and check it out. If you're ready to, if you've gone through the crash course and you're ready to fully dive into the market, you guys heard me talk about them. It's the Learn Plan Profit team. It's the only team that gets to watch me trade live every single day. It's up to you. It's not something that you need. But if you need more guidance, it's not just a course that you go through. I literally trade live every single day at market open. That simple. I'm working with the Learn Plan Profit group through Discord for hours every single morning. And if you have questions, it's as simple as either asking me within the live stream or asking me through direct message through the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat. And if you guys refresh your page, again, you guys could scroll all the way down and there should be a $40 off coupon. You get lifetime access to the course and all the updates. You get lifetime access to watching me trade live, right? And you get lifetime access to the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat. That's it, right? So you guys know about the free tools and free resources that we provide you. The e-tips and the ebooks and the checklist, that's that first link, our free Facebook group, the crash course, and the Learn Plan Profit group. That's it. And what I want to make sure that you guys focus on is, and I talked about it already in this video, right? How many of you guys last week were kind of just all over the place due to the shift of the market? Can you guys all agree? We got so many messages from a lot of beginner traders that were just thrown all over the place, right? Because the shift of the market. All I want to remind you is that you have time. You have time to make it in the market. Don't be so eager to take every single position or every single opportunity, every single trade that is thrown at you. I don't care what so-and-so said about a stock. I don't care what even the company said that was going to, how it's going to expect to, double in value. It does not matter. At the end of the day, you are the sole decision maker on what you choose to trade and what you choose to invest in. So keep things simple. If you do not feel prepared, if you do not feel comfortable, if you do not feel emotionally sound to take a position, then do not take it. I like to focus on 3 things, and these are my 3 things. I don't care if you follow them, but I want to share them with you. 3 things, right? First thing is I like to make sure that I understand the pattern, the way that it moves. And normally, just like we explained in the e-tips ebook, I have to give the stock time to identify its pattern, meaning that I have to wait 20, 30 minutes after the market opens to identify my second thing, direction. If I want to grow my account, then I want to trade patterns that are showing signs of growth. And then the last thing is I want to be selective. I want to make sure that the opportunities that I take advantage of, that the margin of profit is worth it, that it offers a lot of guac or bread, whatever it is that you guys want to call it. Margin of profit. I want to be selective. My focus, right, is taking the least amount of trades as possible to get to my daily goal, which I think a lot of you guys might have the same goal as well. It's not about taking a trade just at everything that's thrown your way, but it's being selective. And if you're finding yourself not being selective, then just ask yourself what you're doing today to work towards your overall goal. Because if you're failing and you're blaming everyone because of your failure, but you're trading everything, you're not managing your risk, you're just throwing your money at anything that anyone tells you about, it's 100% your fault. I don't care what you say, right? If I fail or I succeed, it is because of me, not because of anyone else. And that's something that you have to put through your head. And if you don't feel like you're able to make sense of that, then maybe the market isn't for you. But as long as you understand that you're either going to learn from your mistake or actually profit, just make sure that there's a reason behind every single thing that you do. If you buy, let there be a reason. If you sell, let there be a reason. If you cut losses, let there be a reason. Because big picture, as long as there's a reason for everything that you do, it's always at least going to make sense and get you that much closer to becoming that much of a better trader. Super simple. I'm not telling you to trade anything. I'm just, if anything, telling you to trade less and profit more. Be selective. So again, guys, all the links are down below. Hi, Ricky, haven't seen $40 off coupon. So if you don't see the $40 off coupon, what you have to do is refresh this page, scroll all the way down in the description, and there's a little text that says, surprise, you have unlocked $40 off the Learn Plan Profit course. That's what it says. And if you don't see that, direct message me on Discord and I can provide you with a discount. Also, if you're a student or if you're a veteran or active service member, we have a special discount for you. All I ask you to do is to direct message me via Discord through TechBot Solutions or through Learn Plan Profit. If you're going to be asking for a discount for the Learn Plan Profit crash course, which is $7, don't bother, because again, I will give you a refund on the Learn Plan Profit crash course if you don't see value in it or learned anything from it. That's simple. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. I hope that you can share this video with someone that you think that can benefit from it. I hope that I earned your thumbs up. I hope you guys can subscribe, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.